Listen, we use our intuition every damn day without even thinking about it. Majority of the population connects with their intuition in a very limited and unconscious way. You know those times that you just have a gut feeling? You get inspired to take a particular route to work or to connect with a loved one or a feeling to change your plans. You are guided by an inner voice or an inner knowing. That is your intuition in action. Intuition is not something new to learn. It is a natural skill already existing within us that we need to uncover and develop. If this episode piqued your curiosity or you felt somehow nudged to explore what intuition is, it is likely because intuitively you are looking to receive clarity and confidence in your decision making. Your intuition led you here. So life is literally just a never-ending series of decisions. So let's get into what this glorious life skill is and how we can enhance it to live a more fulfilling life and make solid decisions for ourselves that are in our highest alignment.
Hi, I'm Christiane, and this is Connected in the Den, a chill-out zone for conscious expansion, a place to connect, learn, and expand, and help each other live a more inspired life. Welcome, soul family. I hope you feel connected in the den. Okay, so look, we cannot be classy all of the time. It's exhausting. In this episode of Connected in the Den, we do have some adult language. So if you have little ones around, you might want to grab your headphones.
I've been studying intuition for, I would say on an unconscious level, probably since my early 30s, from a conscious level for the last 3 years. Continuing to develop my own skill and explore this gift has truly become a really great passion of mine. It has become a sort of hot topic over the years with many intuitives and mediums educating on the topic, including myself. I actually have an upcoming workshop this month, depending when you're listening to this episode, but January 22nd, 2023. I am hosting an Intuition 101 workshop, but I do carry this ongoing intuition development workshop over the year. I also taught for another psychic medium Fleur. She has a beautiful, in-depth, comprehensive intuition development course. I took it myself. It's phenomenal. And if you're looking for like a deep dive into your practice, I highly recommend it. Intuition is a very layered skill. So the development of this innate skill within us really does require space and patience. The word intuition, from the Latin word, excuse my Latin pronunciation here, intuere, means observe, give attention to. So basically to look within. Intuition is your inner knowing, your inner guidance, your inner wisdom. It is a conscious awareness of our heart and our soul. So why is it so damn difficult for us to tap in and follow our intuitive guidance? Honestly, we don't trust it. Number one, we're scared to trust it. Number two, we're literally not paying attention. And number three, we've lost the connection to our intuition over the years. Because of the way our society is structured, we actually begin to lose the connection to our intuition at a very young age, mainly due to societal conditioning and programming, the patriarchy and the suppression of the divine feminine, yin energy, and personal and collective trauma that we collect over the years and suppress within us. This makes it really difficult for us to tune in and to trust our guidance. We also live in a very rational-based society, a society that values logic over instinct, that values structure over creative flow, which is so wild to me to actually reflect on the fact that so many of these cosmic gifts that we're all born with, intuition, psychic abilities, telepathic abilities, being highly sensitive and being empathic, these very natural skills are all suppressed, and so many people scoff at them or make fun of those who openly share about those who utilize these abilities. We are energetic beings. We're basically walking antennas, moving around all day, every day, constantly collecting energetic information from people, from places and things. And the energy that we collect is what we base our everyday decisions on. It affects our mood, it affects our sleep, it affects our connections and our human interactions. So the more we strengthen our intuition, filtering this energy that we receive becomes smoother. We begin to identify, what energetic information we don't need to carry and what information will actually benefit us for the greater good, So how exactly does intuition work? It is a language. This is the best way I usually describe it, is that it's a language that varies for everyone. And it is a language that is spoken to us through our whole being, both our physical body and our energetic body. And this is why I mentioned it takes space and patience to develop, because like any new language, you don't just learn a new language and master it overnight. It takes practice. So when we get an intuitive hit, we may hear the thought in our mind or see an image in our mind, but we always feel the information in our body. Something will either feel right or feel wrong when it comes to making our decisions. Yes, our body tells us when we need to eat or drink. We hear the thought, I need to eat something, I need a drink. But that's because we feel thirsty or hungry. We like or dislike someone based on how they make us feel. I'll go in a little bit later into identifying sensations and feelings of intuition, but I want to touch on something that affects the quality of our intuition, and that is trauma. This is why I speak so openly about healing, why I share so openly about my own healing journey, and why I love connecting with others about their healing journey. Working through emotional trauma sucks. It's so fucking uncomfortable, but dang, is it ever worth it? Honestly, it is so worth it, because your trauma, and we all experience these emotions, pain, anger, sadness, shame, guilt. When we don't process these heavy emotions, we store them in our body. This affects our decision-making skills, and it manifests as illnesses in the body. Trauma numbs us. We don't like to feel our feels. Most of us don't like to feel our feels. We've been programmed not to. Throw some dirt on it and move on. Well, this dirties up our antenna. It creates like a static on our energetic channel, on our energetic frequency. So as you do the work on yourself and you process the heavier emotions within yourself, you will notice that it becomes so much easier to tune into your intuition. The decisions that you start to make become guided by your soul, not your hurt ego. Another thing that I mentioned is that we don't pay attention. Because so many of us function in a regimented, logical structure, with no room for creative flow, we miss the nudges from spirit, from our soul. When we allow space for us to be still with ourselves, just like you're doing right now as you're listening to this, the volume of our intuition naturally cranks the F up. It becomes almost impossible to ignore intuition when we can find stillness with ourselves. Finding stillness allows us to move in a more mindful state. So when we take time to be present, to move a little more slowly and aware, we make decisions in a more fulfilling way. We receive information and guidance from a very calm place. I strongly encourage developing a special, loving relationship with yourself. Connecting with your soul is pure magic. You take the time to notice how you feel, what you need. You reset your nervous system and create a more harmonious flow within yourself. You can listen more fully to your intuitive language. So let's take this example. The next time you go to have a shower, let's say you go to take a shower, instead of rushing through the task just because it needs to get done, romanticize it. I talk so much about romanticizing things. I romanticize making my fucking tea every day, making my coffee, cooking myself a meal. Like, romanticize the common basic tasks in your life. So when you get into the shower, put on your favorite music, light some candles, burn some incense, or grab some of those cool shower steamers. I got a few of these actually for my parents and for my sister and brother-in-law for Christmas. They infuse your bathroom with like super lovely scents. I got them eucalyptus scents because that's one of my favorite shower scents. It's like very spa-like and like it's just so soothing. So, do these little things and just take your time, take a beat to just thank your body as you clean it. Like, thank your body for being so damn amazing. Take some time to just breathe. Use the time in the shower to connect to yourself. And I freaking promise, you will literally receive intuitive hits in those moments. So I also mentioned that we lose the connection to our intuitive guidance from a very early age. And that's like a very deep layered conversation. I do touch on that in the intuition workshops, but some ways to reestablish the connection. Number one is to get some rest. We've been so programmed by colonialism that rest is lazy and unproductive, which is bullshit. It's actually the opposite. Rest is a radical movement of productivity. I don't know about y'all, but I function so much better when I've rested. I know you all agree with that. I know many of you are listening to that, nodding your heads, like, get proper rest. Another way to reestablish the intuitive connection with yourself is to shut off the external noise. And I'm constantly sharing this tip with my clients. Shut off the noise. Turn off your devices. Take a break from mindless scrolling. Take a rest from texting and phone calls and emails. Just turn it off. Take a break. Go outside. Rest in your home. Find time to get creative, to meditate. It can be difficult to hear ourselves with all of that noise. So shut it off and take a break. Embodiment practice is another beautiful way to establish our intuitive connection. Connecting with and moving our bodies is a really great way to help understand how our bodies feel, what our bodies are communicating to us. And like I mentioned earlier, intuition speaks through our bodies. So I often share on my social media platforms my favorite ways to connect with my body. It's yoga, going for walks, and my favorite, dancing. I'm always dancing around my house. So not only are these great ways to connect with our body, to feel what we need, It's also a fantastic way to help move emotions, stagnant energy that is throughout our body. Emotions get stuck within us and then they affect our intuitive skills. So, moving our bodies creates an awareness and strengthens our mind, body, and soul intelligence. Embodiment practice is so essential to developing and strengthening our intuition. So, as you can probably start to feel within yourselves by this point in the episode, when our rational mind has a more harmonious relationship with our intuitive senses, we can then make better quality decisions for ourselves. Ones that keep us on a path that's more connected to our higher self, our higher purpose. Living a more intuitive life can help us live lives that are full of joy and love and adventure. We become more aware, more present, and we feel more confident in the steps that we take in the direction that we're going. I'm not saying that life gets easier, but it does. You're better equipped with tools to navigate your life. So this episode is really just scratching the surface on intuition development. So if you're looking to deepen and expand your abilities, feel free to hop over to my website, thewanderinglioness.com, or connect with me on Instagram or TikTok at thewanderinglioness. I would love to hold space and assist you on your intuitive journey. It's, as I said, it's my passion. I share many helpful resources, and as I mentioned, I host intuition development workshops, as well as workshops that help us ground and cleanse our energy or help to understand what we need as empathic and sensitive beings, like all of these tools that basically help us enhance our intuition. So I hope this started to shed a little bit of light on what this brilliant life skill is that we all have. And I look forward to connecting with you and working with you on your intuitive journey. Thank you so much for tuning into this episode. I'm so happy your intuition led you here.
Thank you so much for listening, my darlings. I hope this episode filled your soul with all the feel-good vibes. I would love to connect deeper with you about this episode, so please feel free to find Connected in the Den on Instagram, YouTube, and Facebook, and we can chat more about our elevation journey together. If this episode did bring you all the feels, I would love so much if you shared it with your people. Leave me a review, add the podcast to your favorites, or subscribe to the channel, all the things to help us stay connected. And if you do post it on your platforms, please don't forget to tag us. I am so blessed and so grateful to have you here, and I'm sending you all the love and massive virtual hugs. We have a lot to explore, and I look forward to sharing our next chat here on Connected in the Den.